I meet so many, idiots who come up to me and say, I think I'll jump into real estate. I'm going, real estate's not the stock market. Oh, I bought a couple of properties. I've bought 4 or 5 properties. I know what I'm doing. I said, were they residential? Yeah, but I know real estate. So they think real estate is this flip and flop type of activity.
The way people will ultimately make money, I think, off of residential real estate is as a debtor, not as a landowner, but as a debtor. But I think like the commercial real estate, I would be very, very nervous about that. A lot of these malls, strip centers, Americans are basically done shopping. I mean, that's going to be when the dollar crashes.
Physically shop.
Yeah, when the dollar crashes and all these foreign goods are no longer available, that's it for shopping. I mean, because you go to a store and you look at the goods that are on the shelves, it would be like a scavenger hunt to try to find something made in America. So you take all those foreign products out of the
off
stores,
the shelf.
There's nothing left to buy. Now, there'll be some foreign products there, but at double, triple, quadruple the price. So Americans, won't be able to buy them. And so I think a lot of this commercial real estate is just going to get killed, and also a lot of office space too. Not only are people working from home, but when you have to transition from a service economy to a production economy, you don't need as much office space. You need factories, you need warehouses, you need stuff that, so this real estate doesn't qualify. So there's going to be a big collapse in commercial real estate.
I feel like the last 5 years, like real estate sort of was like a get rich quick scheme. Like everyone was making money. But most veterans, I think, know and understand that all real estate is not get rich quick. It's like get wealthy over time. And then there will be pockets within the timeline that like you can make a lot of money, right? And so for short-term rentals, that's what it was. And now you can still make really good money. Personally, I think so. And I'll walk you through a deal in a second. I just think it's not like, I don't think you're going to retire off of one property. And I've personally, anecdotally, have never paid myself really for my short-term rental properties. So whether my portfolio makes 10K or 7K, it doesn't affect me too much because it all just goes back into all the properties that I'm buying. But all to say, these days, here's sort of like the cash on cash that I'm looking for. Traditionally, over the last 5 years, I was looking for like a 30 to 50% cash on cash return, which I don't even like putting that out there. This is not really something I would ever tell anybody listening to this, like, go get a 50%. It's ridiculous. It's just how it was.
Real estate, people say, well, I'm investing in real estate. I go, well, what kind of real estate? Some people flip houses. Some people, I don't know what they do. They fix them up and then they re-rent them. Or whatever. There's millions and millions of ways. There's warehousing, warehousing. There's golf courses. There's hotels, apartment houses. What's the worst investment in real estate? And it's vacation homes. So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, so what should I invest in? I said, well, how about education? The next one are multifamily condos. Oh, Kim and I have had condos. They're almost worse than vacation homes. And the one reason is homeowners associations. Kim has seen me go to war against those guys. And I tell you, you cannot talk to homeowners associations. They could be the worst people on planet Earth. They're horrible people. Our HOA, when Kim and I were first starting out years and years ago, we just painted one of our units and they told us to change the paint. We just finished. And they said, we don't like your paint. So I don't like you. That's what HOA stands for. People with too much time on their hands and nothing to do would cause problems. And they all think they're professional investors. So there's always opportunity. And the most important thing is, do you hang out with the right people, good people? Are they honest? I would just go to it. I mean, even if it's a little Asian guy with hot blondes and bikinis, I'd go and listen to what he has to say. Or she says,
both sides of the coin, right?
Yep. Go listen.
Well, I'm not against it. You know what I mean? There's this new guy coming in from Las Vegas. He's had his own TV show for a while. And he's talking about the same thing. The formula's the same. You'll get rich quick. And nothing wrong with that. But as we all know, things do change.
we both had a fair amount of experience in real estate, and Charlie made his early money in real estate. The second point is the more important point. Real estate is not a commodity, but I think it tends to be more accurately priced, particularly developed real estate, more accurately priced most of the time. Now, during the RTC period, when you had huge amounts of transactions and you had an owner that didn't want to be an owner in a very big way, and they didn't know what the hell they owned and all of that sort of thing. I mean, you had a lot of mispricing then, and I know a few people in this room that made a lot of money off of that. But under most conditions, it's hard to find real estate that's really mispriced. I mean, when I look at the transactions that REITs engage in currently, and you get a lot of information on that sort of thing, they're very similar, but it's a competitive world, and they all know about what a Class A office building in Chicago or wherever it may be is going to produce. At least they may all be wrong, as it turns out, because of some unusual events, but it's hard to argue with the current conventional wisdom most of the time in the real estate world. But occasionally there have been some, there could be big opportunities in the field, but if they exist, it will certainly be because there'll be a lot of chaos in real estate financing for one reason or another. We've done some real estate financing, and you have to have the money shut off to quite a degree, probably, to get any big mispricing across the board. Charlie?
Yeah, we don't have any competitive advantage over experienced real estate investors in the field, and we wouldn't have if we were operating with our own money as a partnership. And if you operate as a corporation such as ours, which is taxable under Chapter C of the Internal Revenue Code, you get a whole layer of corporate taxes between the real estate income and the use of the income by the people who own the real estate. So by its nature, real estate tends to be a very lousy investment for people who are taxed under Subchapter C of the code relating to corporations. So the combination of having it generally a lousy activity for people with our tax structure and having no special competence in the field means that we spend almost no time thinking about anything in real estate, and then such real estate as we've actually done, like holding surplus real estate and trying to sell it off, I'd say we have a poor record at.
Yeah, C Corps really it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I know there are C Corps around that are in real estate, but there are other structures that are more attractive. There really aren't other structures. I mean, Lloyd's is an attempt at it to some degree, but there aren't other structures that work well for big insurance companies. I mean, you can't have a Walmart very well that does not exist in a C Corp. So they are not subject to S Corp or partnership competition that determines the returns on capital in the discount store field. But if you're competing with equivalent of S Corps, REITs, or partnerships or individuals, you've just got an economic disadvantage as a C Corp, which is, for those of you who don't love reading the Internal Revenue Code, it's just a standard vanilla corporation that you think of, all of the Dow Jones companies, all of the S&P companies, and so on.